Are we teaching the truth in love? Telling it like it is. Are we holding pure motives, showing that we care? Are we teaching the truth in love?
Hello and welcome to Moments in His Word. I'm Dave Stidham, the minister for the Church of Christ of Flagler County, and we're glad that you joined us. There's a story about a father who calls up his son the day before Thanksgiving and calls him and tells him, son, I hate to ruin your day, but after 45 years, your mother and I just can't take each other anymore. We've just had it. We've raged at each other and we're just going to get a divorce. And the son said, I can't believe it, Dad. And the dad said, yes, well, go ahead and call your sister in Chicago and let her know. And so the son hangs up the phone and immediately calls his sister in Chicago, and she just goes ballistic. They are not getting a divorce. I will not have it. What you're going to do and what I'm going to do is we're going to buy plane tickets and we're going down there tomorrow. And so she hangs up the phone with her brother and then calls her dad. Dad, what are you thinking? You can't get a divorce. Don't do anything. We're coming down and we'll be there tomorrow. So don't do anything until I get down there. You hear me? And so she hangs up the phone. And then the father smiles and turns to his wife who's sitting at the breakfast table and he says, guess what? The kids are coming for Thanksgiving and they're paying their own way. I like that story because we go to great lengths sometimes to make an event in our lives. Many times we pay too much effort to the moments of life without regard to the eternal aspects of our lives. We look forward to the day-to-day basis and not to really what's very important. To the drug addict, it's the next high, and to the alcoholic, it's the next drink. And to the gambler, it's the next bet. And to the food addict, it's the next meal. Highs upon highs, that's what we're after. The trouble is that these things go by so quickly and have to be met again. Birthdays and anniversaries and vacations and holidays, they're only here for a few moments. And if that's what we live for, if we're longing for that big event, we bring all sorts of troubles upon ourselves. We bring on depression and euphoria. We bring on stress and anxiety. We bring on pressures upon our families, not to mention the time and energy and financial resources that are consumed in this pursuit of happiness. And that pursuit of happiness too often leads us into a place with serious difficulties. So how do we cope? Each one of us, no matter what our background or what our situation is, we face difficulties that we cannot be solved by moments. We need something more. Something that we can hold on to. Something that will be there no matter what life throws at us. Whether it's our fault or not. Living in Florida, where sand is a major portion of our soil content, as you can well see here on the beach, is we realize that sand is great for building sandcastles and playing in and doing all sorts of things while you're at the beach. But if you're going to build something and you want it to build to last, well, sand is not the choice of material. You'll need to mix something with it. This is a concept that Jesus taught us in Matthew chapter 7, starting in verse 24 and following. And many of us learned this lesson and this concept in Bible school as a song, The Wise Man and the Foolish Man. But the Bible says this, therefore everyone who hears the words of mine and acts on them is compared to the wise man who has built his house on the rock. and the rains fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew. But the rocks did not fall, for it had been founded on the rocks. Everyone that hears my words and does not act on them will be like the foolish man who builds his house upon the sand. The rains fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and slammed against the house, and it fell with a great fall. Jesus is saying that the words that he teaches and the beliefs in those teachings are like a rock, a foundation of a wise man's life. The thought is also echoed in Matthew chapter 16 when Jesus is talking to his disciples. It says, now when Jesus was in Caesarea Philippi, he was asking his disciples, who do they say that the Son of Man is? And they said, some say John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, and still others said Jeremiah or one of the prophets. And he said to them, but who do you say that I am? And Simon Peter said that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said to him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is also in heaven. But I say to you, Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. What was the rock that Christ built his church upon? The blessed assurance that Peter had faith that Christ was the Son of God, the Son of the living God. Christ is the firm foundation that we need to build our lives on. He is the anchor that can hold fast no matter what life throws at us. Matter of fact, Jesus tells us that he is the only one. John chapter 14 verse 6 says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one can come to the Father except through me. See, that's the whole purpose of the church, and that's the whole purpose of my being and doing this, is I want to help you get to know who Christ is and what he can bring to your life. If you have any questions, or if you want to study, email me at churchofchristflagler@gmail.com or visit our website at www.churchofchristflagler.com. Or better yet, come visit us at 400 North State Street in Bunnell, Florida. Or visit one of your local churches of Christ and let them help you find the foundation for your life. Because moments are great, but moments are fleeting. Think on the things that are eternal. God bless you.
Are we teaching the truth in love? Telling it like it is. Are we holding pure motives, showing that we care? Are we teaching the truth in love?